All right, hey, what's going on, guys? So, in today's video, we're going to be working on that other PS4 that we worked on before. Um, we bought the chips for it, brand new, so that way I know that if these encoders don't work, then there is something definitely wrong with this console somewhere else along the line, and it's probably not worth me chasing. So this is where we're going to stop. So today we're going to try again placing the encoder with a known good encoder, right? Because I want to make sure that I know that this encoder is brand new. We should have image from it and everything like that. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna the power supply and all that good stuff. And just repair again. Okay. And then after that, we're gonna do a little mod to this controller that I just purchased. Um, okay. All right. Well, not fix, but uh, just to prevent stick drift in the future, we're gonna do something to this controller to make sure that in the future. Okay. So here's this Panasonic chip. Just got the new one in for the Slim. So let's go ahead and let's change this out and let's see what happens. This doesn't solve the problem, then, like I said, we're not going to keep going. Doesn't make it. The PS4 customer can buy another one. This. Let's get into this. All right, so here we are underneath the microscope, and right now we have to reopen the software for it. Okay, and there we go. We should have a bright screen for no reason. Okay, and there we go. I can't see it. So that's just too much. Can we adjust the property? Yeah, we have some stuff we can. Uh, Settings. Okay, there we go. Better. All right, so let's get that off the board and get a new whatever I just did. Okay, got it. All right, so let's lift this off the board. I did watch a few more repair videos, but everybody else did about things like this. But I didn't find anything that was kind of pointing me, like, okay, there's something going on here. I didn't see that. Okay, got that off. Because I don't understand what would cause it not to display outside of the encoder. I mean, maybe there's something else that I just don't know about, but That looks good. Go ahead and heat it up and press down firmly on it. Those solder balls popping up like that. So all you want to see is just those little up the side, and at least for me, that lets me know that the chip is soldered on the board. I just keep holding it for 4 seconds. Go around and check, make sure that it's seated flat. Yep. And then what you can do is go around it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to check again. Like I said, I did check all of these. There was nothing shorted after I did, my part, replacing a few components here. Everything else seemed fine. So let's go ahead and go around here and those all look good also. Those all look good. Okay, so let's test it and let's see what happens. Like I said, I'm not going to waste too much more time on this. I've already put, I think it's like 3 or 4 encoders on here. I put so much work into this board that I'll never get it back. Ever. Like even when the other shop pays me, it's kind of like, oh, thanks. But the time that I put in is just crazy. Let's try the hard drive. It's not the customer's hard drive, I know for sure. Their console is like really, really clean. That's what's got me all messed up is because their console is like super clean. So I don't understand what went wrong with the console. That's what's really bothering me because it doesn't seem like the console fell or the HDMI port is damaged or anything like that. This is not their drive there, but let's just try it. As long as we don't factory reset it, the information should be okay. We have the blue light. But still no display. And usually it would just boot to safe mode. So now it should be booting to safe mode. It just turned off and it's kind of like turning back on. Yep, solid white light and still no display. Yes, solid white light and still no display. So I definitely think something is going on with it. It's powering up. And I thought at first maybe it's the hard drive. And that's why I started using the other hard drive, was just to test it. To see if I was going to get image from the other hard drive. But I still don't get any image from it. All right, we have to put this board back. I'm trying to find the customer drive now. Because we're gonna be done with this console. We can't keep working on it. And here's the customer's drive. I wrote a C on it so I'll know it's customers. And I'm gonna try their drive again. Because if I remember correctly, if you don't have a drive in the console, I don't think it'll boot, not even a save mode. I think it has to have a working drive, I think. Yep, so we still have the white light, just have no image. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me unplug this. Because maybe I might be overlooking something and some other shop might find a problem. I don't mind that, but I just can't keep wasting time on this. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're back. Okay, so like I said, we're not going to spend any more time working on that. Let's get straight to this controller. And what we're going to do is we're going to install the analog stick. But it's not just any analog stick. These are Hall Effect analog sticks. So I bought this controller online, and it doesn't have any stick drift, but I'm just future-proofing it. Just to make sure. I don't know what the inside of this looks like, right? Because I bought this online from AliExpress. Because I like the PS4 style controller. I don't like the PS5 because of my hands. It's not that I have small hands. It's just that I felt like I've adapted my hands to that controller. Oh, look at this little rinky-dink battery that they put in. I guess you get your money's worth, right? I mean, it works, but and we're also going to take out the vibrating motors. So I'm just going to remove them permanently because I don't really use them. I don't use them. They'll make my controller a lot lighter also. Okay, there we go. So you guys didn't even get that, but I did go ahead and I removed the connectors. We have to turn this on. Okay. Oh, these are Hall effects already. They weren't lying. These are Hall effects. See it. Yeah, these are Hall effects. They just feel completely different from the other ones that I have that are Hall effect. Wow. Okay. So I guess we don't need to mod that because they are indeed Hall effect. They're just not as responsive. It's crazy. I have these other controllers that have Hall effects, and they're really, really responsive. This one is just kind of like it feels like it's stuttering sometimes, and it doesn't want to go where I'm aiming. So that's why I thought maybe this is just a regular, and they lied to me. But no, not. But maybe just a board, chip on the board or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe somebody else knows what would make the controller feel not as responsive. Very strange. Like it just felt like the analog sticks were sticky. So, and we just got to install the battery, and that we don't need. Uh, and we got to put a screw. Okay, where's that battery? Go with that battery. And we'll just put it right back on top of here. Getting no ribbon cable. Plug that in. And I guess we did mod it a little bit by removing the vibrating motor. Makes the controller So much lighter. Oh man. Yep, so I guess we modified this controller, removed the motors, and that's it. That's all I needed. Because it did indeed have the Hall effect uh, analog stick. And let me show you those again. I think I've showed them before. Maybe these are just, maybe the ones that are in the controller. I guess they both feel the same, I guess. But it didn't feel as responsive. That's what it was. You know what? We have another controller here. Let me find it. One of them wasn't connecting up when we try to connect it to the console. That's the one I'm looking for now. Because, well, that's not the one I'm looking for now, sorry. I'm looking for the one that does actually work with the console. That way I can use that. We'll just take this apart. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to take this one apart. Because I don't think this is the one that I already worked on. And what happened with that one was the cable got damaged, so the wireless, so it wouldn't connect to the console, and I didn't feel like continuing to work on that either because I have so many of these controllers laying around that has stick drift that I've given up on. They're not PS5 controllers, you know, they're PS4 controllers. I like them, but not enough to work on them. Just like the PS4 that's here, it's because of the value of it. Sometimes it's just not worth the headache to try and repair something. It just wouldn't come off. I don't know what. Hopefully, I didn't break anything. And on this one also, we're gonna remove the vibrator also. Like I said, I don't like it. I had the self controller, and I when I ordered it, I opt not to have the vibrator in it, and it changed the way the controller felt for me. Never tried it. Go ahead and just get yourself one without the motor. Be surprised. kind of like a lightweight mouse. Like, you know, like the heavier the mouse is, kind of feel it. Okay, so there we go. That is out. Uh, and these are your regular analog sticks. Okay. So my method of removing these is low melt solder, or no, we're not going to use low melt. We're just going to make sure that we put some flux on all these connectors. And sometimes I might need the hot air, but until I do, I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so definitely a smaller tip on here would be way better for this job, because as you can tell, it tip is so large that it's, oh, I get to try something else that's brand new also. So I'm gonna have to change to the desk cam. I got this. Okay, like that. That should be okay, right? I mean, go back and forth, but yeah, I could try to tighten it up a little bit more. But here we go. Here we go. That's pretty good. Okay, so now let's go. And because now the board won't move all over the place as I'm heating it. I figured this thing would come in handy. I didn't know today. Can I not stop it from turning? There we go. That thing just fell out. You see that? Love this thing already. I don't know how long though. Let's see how long this thing lasts, right? My first time using it, but that analog stick fell out so easy. You don't understand. Like I've I've been doing this for a long time with these analog sticks, and I've been fighting with them. I don't think I've ever seen one fall out like that. And if you do this for a living, meaning like you fix controllers with stick drift, I would suggest getting one of these. And not just the board holder, but this suction too, which I'm just gonna assume most people already have these. I kind of kept the heat away from that plastic because I didn't want to melt it. And there we go. That thing fell out. If you watch my last video, when I was fixing the other controller with stick drift, I think you will notice that it didn't come out as easily. And I'm gonna say that between this board holder and that suction that I have up there, I wouldn't mind doing this job. I had taken, like this kind of job off my to-do list because I didn't like how, like it just felt like it was a lot of work to try to get the analog sticks out. But I mean, look at that. I'll just come back and I'll just clean up the other holes that are covered up, right? So I'm just gonna exact same thing again. And you can use this for PlayStation boards also. So in a future video, I'll show you guys this in action on a PS5 board. All right, I'm gonna turn up this temp. I'm gonna use max temp. Oh, turn on the airflow. That looks pretty good to me. I would think like if you're gonna do if you have a PS4 or PS5 board at home and you want to fix the stick drift yourself, this would be my advice. These tools right here: hot air station, a soldering iron, this suction, this holder, flux, um, and all the necessary things that you need in order to solder. I would suggest, for someone to get. But definitely include this holder because it lifts it up off the desk so that way you're able to get behind it nice and easy and remove the four main want to call them holders of the board. I mean, look how this comes out. Like I could probably reuse this if I wanted to, or if I needed to reuse it, I could reuse it. It came out so clean, super clean. I throw those. Uh, that is my garbage pail over here. So I dump stuff over here, and then later on I come back and I clean them up. What happened to the analogs that did I put them back up? Nope, they're right here. So now I can just go over this with flux, and I can just connect up the main four or the main ones that I need to connect up. By just kind of, I'm just all I'm gonna do is get some solder, get on my iron, and I'm just gonna kind of lift the board by holding the analog stick. And just kind of tap it in and just kind of get them in place a little bit. A little bit of solder will be good enough to hold them in place. So I'm going to do it again. Just like that. Now I'm going to get them all soldered in. Definitely going to see this is the fastest I've done one of these. That's perfect. It's so perfect. Let's get this other one. Put this one in also. We're gonna do the exact same thing. So for this time, I'm just gonna put the flux down first, like that, and then Make sure we line this up. Like that. They just lift the board a little bit, holding it up. Okay, just like that. Now let's solder all of them in. You know what? We're just going to use a bigger tip. That's the best way to do it. You don't need a really expensive soldering iron to do it. Just touching these ones back up. I don't know that the solder just seems like it's not spreading out over this one. Okay, that looks good. That looks really good. So now let's clean up. All right, let's use this stuff. That's just this. Bucks off. Buy your can if you want to. I said if you're doing this at home, you don't need all this stuff. Because this is yours, but if this is going like back to a customer, this is how we usually treat it. So I already have all the stuff, so it doesn't really change much for me. Stuff. But if you're at home and you don't want to spend, whatever the shop is going to charge you to fix your analog stick at home, fix it. I can give you a list of what you need. Just um, leave a comment below. I'll make a list and a link to the stuff that you purchase. Look at that. Like I said, because I don't really care so much for the vibrator motor, you're not going to see me put them back in. But look at that. So I think now, I think you have to calibrate this thing. So Still need to find the actual. I have to find a charging cable to calibrate it. But without that, we're not going to be able to calibrate it. Because as everything that I read, that's what everyone was doing, was calibrating it after they were finished. I think the board holder, I had it squeezed too hard on the board, so it kind of bent the board a little bit. I don't think it'll affect it in a negative way, but just be aware of that. Don't clamp it too hard in the board holder. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, so we're going to plug this into our computer somewhere. Oh, we have to put the back on, or just at least connect up this bottom. I don't know if maybe it's, let's see. Let's see if this cable is working for these controllers. Yeah, so this one is working. Okay. Maybe we need a battery. I didn't think we need a battery. I thought we could just plug it up and. Hey, maybe you do need a battery. For some reason, I thought you could do without the battery. Okay. All right, now we have the battery in. And okay, so this is not turn on. Yeah, it makes the controller blink once, this cable, but it doesn't seem like it connects. I had the cable here that did work. I don't know where it is now. Okay, I think I found it. Yep, it's from my scuff controller. I did a video on that controller a while ago, also fixing the stick drift, and then I fixed the stick drift, like fixed the stick drift, and I did something else. Okay, so we do have the controller here. Okay, so we can see. Oh, let me share this screen with you guys if I can. So I'm not sure what this is. Just copy this link and plug it in. Not sure why it's not working because I do have it up on my screen. Let's delete this one and make a new one. Okay, there we go. So you can see that if I move it, okay, it's moving. So now we just have to adjust it. Which I don't really know how to do it on this one. Just being honest with you guys. Yeah, I don't know how to adjust these. Let me look underneath the microscope at another one and how do we adjust it? Because maybe I'll see something that I can't see with just my plain eyes. Because there's two holes, but I don't know what those holes do. And whenever I put my tool in it, because it's magnetic, it just kind of changes. But that's good. But I want to make sure that I'm actually adjusting this thing properly. That way we can calibrate it so that way it's not off. Okay, I think I see what I might have to do. All right, that one is a little bit better, right? Oh, all right. So now I have to look this up. Okay, so I think it's saying that I have to put the whole controller together for maybe this, maybe for just a specific one that I have, calibrate it. It has to be plugged up, and I have to calibrate it that way. So let's go ahead and let's put it back together, and then we calibrate it. All right. So like I said before, I don't care about these motors, so I'm gonna take them out. So we have that out. Let's replace these also. Yeah, we have brand new caps. Just gotta find them. They're in one of these drawers. At least I think. Maybe I don't. Just maybe. And maybe I don't have them. Maybe I used them up. Maybe I threw them out. No. But I'm not looking for them though. Y'all all show their stuff. So for now, we'll just put these old ones back on. But I thought I had ones laying around somewhere. Okay, and my battery holder. Battery just sits right on top like that. And gotta put this back in also. And maybe sometime in the future I'll think about replacing those with switches. I know there is mods that can turn those into like mouse switch, which responds a lot faster. And I think it says this, and you spin them around to recalibrate. I think that's what it said. It said you have to connect them up and L1 R1 to recalibrate. Let's just see what happens on screen. So we're still doing the same L1 R1 and nope. Okay, so let me look on how to recalibrate these because it doesn't make any sense because they're still off. Both of them are. Both of them are, and I'm not sure what to do about calibrating them because let me show you guys this underneath the microscope here. Underneath the microscope, this is one of the sensors, and it has two holes, one over there, one over here. But the only thing that's there is a magnet, right? And if I push the magnet this way, which I hardly can, and if I use this, so the magnet, when you lift this up, you can see the magnet, right? But it's glued in place. That's the only thing that can happen is just maybe that's the calibration right here is me just pushing this. Yeah, me just turning that. That's the calibration. It snaps back. That's what I don't understand. It just snaps back. maybe just like that. That's how I calibrate them. Just by sticking my tool in and then just letting it turn the analog. Let's try that. Let's see if that will work. So I just destroyed that one, just trying to figure out this calibration stuff thing. Because if you don't calibrate them, then you're still, dealing with a controller that's not functioning right. So let's see if that will work. If not, then I'll have to remove it again. When I say remove it again, I don't mean like the actual controller, but the analog stick will have to be removed. So let's plug it up and let's see where we're at, and then let's try to move it a little bit and see what we get when we try to move it. If it even starts calibrating, or just not calibrating, but just I guess it is calibrating. So okay, so let's test that. Okay, so that way. Oh man, I can't get the that will I'm gonna try something else because that's not working. That's definitely not working. I'm about to drop this almost like a washer. I think it's more like a spacer. It helps keep the joystick kind of like balanced. That way one side isn't falling out and the other side is in. All right, so we're going to end up replacing this analog also. And I'm going to open up this side and I'm going to take a better look and see how are we going to adjust it. Yeah, this is, so the first part is calibrating on these ones. I think it's going to be my biggest issue. But I guess eventually I'll figure out a way how I can calibrate them properly and not have to worry about this issue. But for now, I'm going to put it back in this holder and I'm going to take the cap off and this one. So I'm going to quickly take this one out and replace it. or not. Yeah, let's just quickly replace it. But we still have to calibrate these. Also, another thing, I got to remind myself to make sure that this has a little wiggle. That way, it's not fat. It's not moving, but it's not. It's also not super tight. But I definitely like this holder compared to all the other ones that I've used before. I have to say this is the best one I've used. Plus, of the lower melting temperature, I'm able to get them out a lot faster. And I could have done that in the beginning, where I just kind of use a lower temperature just to help me desolder them. But I wanted you guys to also see. Well, I also wanted to test these things out and see how they work. All right, we still have to heat up this little hole right here. There we go. But that's just nice. I mean, even if I have to change them, like that one, like I just have to replace this one, that was a lot faster than all the replacements I've done before on analog sticks. I have like, if I look around here, I probably have like 5 or 6 different board holders. Still have one of these holes that are not even gonna bother with this. One of the pins are bent. Not gonna mess with it. Like I said, trial and error, and this is part of the process. Go through when you're trying new things. You have to learn, make mistakes, and just kind of keep going. Don't let them slow you down. Like they say, when you're running a race, you're already losing. They say finish strong. Same thing here. All right, we're gonna get the big soldering iron. Like I said before, this one will do it the job a lot better than the smaller iron. Just got to make sure that you get the solder where it needs. Okay. And let's clean up alcohol area. More alcohol. Hot air. Just evaporate the alcohol. You don't need to melt no solder. If you're melting solder, much. Much if you start melting solder. Like that again, one more time. There. Nice and easy, guys. So like I said, I'll leave the link below for these tools that I'm using right here, just in case you're at home and you want to do this for yourself. It's not that hard with the tools. I can promise you that. As someone that learned, um, that self-taught how to repair, I would definitely use that as a method of teaching someone how to solder these. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. We'll test this. I'll make another video showing you guys how to calibrate these, and it'll be like a more in-depth video on how to calibrate these. So thanks for watching, guys.